You're listening to the Hella Well with Danielle show, a podcast taking women of color on a journey exploring all things wellness and travel related. We're all about showing you how to put on your oxygen mask first and creating lasting self-care habits that will free you to travel the world and live the life you truly desire, and not one you have to fake loving. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. Now let's buckle up and start this journey. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Hella Well with Danielle podcast. I am your host, Danielle Washington, and today I'm going to let you in on a secret. That's right, I'm going to let you in on a secret. And let's be real, there's no real reason why this is a secret, but I just haven't told anyone about it. And it's crazy because it's one of those things where I can contribute it to my feeling worthy. Like there's a long time in my life where I felt unworthy, and I can contribute this thing to feeling worthy. I contribute this one thing to stepping into my power, stepping into who I'm meant to be, feeling better, like not having migraines anymore, and just in my overall well-being. So what is it that I've been holding back from y'all? So don't hate me for holding back on you, but now I'm telling you. So it's Reiki. It's Reiki. And people are like, well, what is Reiki? I don't know what this Reiki thing you talketh of. Nor do I know why you're talking in this weird accent. But Reiki is a Japanese technique of stress reduction and relaxation that promotes healing. And one of the quotes I love from like one of the pioneers in Reiki community, Mrs. Takata says, I want Reiki to be as common as aspirin. And the way I want you to think about this is, got a migraine? Because I get migraines all the time. Use Reiki. Shoulder hurts or back pains or have cramps, because don't say no one has cramps. Use Reiki. Have any difficult relationship with someone? Send Reiki to that relationship. You can even use Reiki to manifest things that you want in your life. Like, I love the fact that Reiki could be used for so many different things. And like, I should probably just break down exactly I told you what it is and kind of how it's used. And so Reiki, again, is a Japanese technique of stress reduction and relaxation that promotes healing. And it's based on this belief that everything that we are is life energy, this life force energy, and we're all energy. And the way I like to describe it is, think about those common aches and pains you have. You're like, I don't know if you ever get these, because I don't know if it's an age thing or I don't know what it is, but like I would always get like this pain in the my upper back, like in my shoulder blade. I'm like, what is this? Or I get these random pains in certain places, but they would always really correlate with something emotionally going on in our lives. If you've never read The Body Keeps the Score, I forgot who the author is, great book. But it, in that book, but in other things, it talks about how we store our emotions and our energy in our body. And when it gets stuck, blocked, or stagnant, whatever, it shows up as these physical ailments and aches. And what I love about Reiki is it's kind of the savior. Reiki is this gentle cleanser / organizer that cleans all this stuck energy or blocks or low energy, and it kind of helps everything flow. The way I like to describe it is, think if you have this house, as I look around here, don't judge, and like you have clothes everywhere, there's some plates out, and you see some other stuff all out and about, and the house is just a disarray, i.e. known as a hot blanket mess. What Reiki does, so that's your body. Your body is a hot mess because it has all these blocks. You have low energy, you have these things stagnant, other things going on. Reiki comes in and it's like this super cleaner that you hired, and it folds all the clothes, washes all the dishes, puts everything away where it's supposed to be, so everything is moving, flowing smoothly. And that's what Reiki is. So that's one analogy I always like to use. And it's just this amazing thing that I'm like, I feel like coming from California, I've always known about Reiki. I feel like Reiki is like, well, it's not as bad as Burning Man, but like Reiki, I feel like in San Francisco Bay Area, everyone kind of knows about different things, because I feel like we're more on a spiritual level. I think there's people who know more things. And so I think know more things in the sense that It's a small separation degrees. It was like the Kevin Bacon thing. It's like, there's a 6 degree separation of someone knowing about Reiki, just because it's more practice here, because I think there are more people are open to these types of things. I hate to say that we're more a woo-woo community, but we kind of are. But I don't feel like Reiki is woo-woo. And that's part of the reason why I really want people to know about Reiki, because I want, as Mr. Takata wanted, I want Reiki to be as common as aspirin. I want Reiki to be as common in the Black and brown community as aspirin, or taking Advil, as maybe getting acupuncture, as getting a massage, or as just going to the doctor. I want to live in a world where some kid, and I feel bad saying this, some kid falls, hurts his knee, and some other kid's like, I got you. Let me do some Reiki on you. And I love that ideal of that. You don't need any medication. You don't need a doctor. You just need someone who's attuned to Reiki, and you need their hands. It's hands-on energy healing. Kind of like Jesus, but I don't like to say I'm like Jesus, because I feel that that's awkward. So just disregard I even said the Jesus part of it. And it's interesting because, like, I have to admit, when I first heard about Reiki, and like I knew people were doing it, and I'm like, okay, I've heard of this thing, like, whatever. I was like, yeah, I don't really know how that works. You're gonna tell me that you're gonna not touch me, but somehow or another be able to help me heal? You're gonna not touch me, and even not be in the same country, and still be able to kind of help me heal with this healing energy? I'm like, no, I don't believe you. And I get people being like, I don't buy it. That must be some magical thing. That's some woo woo thing. And it's not. One thing I love about Reiki is it respects free will, and doesn't harm anyone. It is not a religion. So Reiki works with all religions or with no religion. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be spiritual. You just have to be someone who's open to the free will of something helping you. And think about it. How many times have you sent a prayer to someone? I've sent many prayers, or asked someone, like, girl, pray for me. Pray for me. No one's, there's no medication with that. There's no magic with that. There's no nothing with that. Yes, it could be connected to religion, but through the power of prayer, I've bet at one point in time in your life, you felt healed. You felt empowered. You felt better in some way. And I think Reiki, especially even distant Reiki, giving Reiki from someone who's not in front of you, is a lot like that prayer. And so my first experience with Reiki, when I finally let someone do Reiki, I don't know why I waited so long, but like I had a friend who was with me on a trip, and I was stressing out. I was like hardcore stressing the blank out. And she's like, girl, I got you. I'm going to do some Reiki. I'm like, at this point, I can't be drunk. I can't be high. So yeah, okay, I'm going to do this Reiki thing. And she did Reiki on me. So she stood above me. She put her hands like above me. And I just felt this amazing, overwhelming feeling of just relax. Like I just felt calmer. I felt clearer. I felt like less stressed out. And like I wasn't worried about what was going on. And it was just like, okay, I got this. And, the first time I did it was like, maybe that was a coincidence. Maybe that she just had something special going on. And when I had it done again and again, I'm like, oh, no, it wasn't a coincidence. The stuff really, really works. And so what are the benefits of Reiki? Some of the benefits of using Reiki, as I was talking before, is it reduces stress. It, restores balance. It releases worry. And I don't know about you, how many of us need to release worry and reduce some stress? My hand is up for that one. And that's one thing I love about it. It relieves fatigue. It boosts your mood. I love that Reiki illuminates a path. And I think we all need our path illuminated just to know kind of where we're trying to go and getting clarity in our life. It doesn't give you the answers, but it leads you on the path to those answers. And I'll be the first to admit, Reiki is not a cure. It's not a cure to cure cancer or all these different things, but it helps promote your overall well-being and your health, and helping your mind, body, and spirit just be overall healthier. And like, we can all use that. I also love that Reiki can help with relationships. Like, you can use Reiki to send Reiki to a relationship to help heal and mend and get a better understanding of the relationship, and then also using it to manifest. I have definitely, if you look at my house, and maybe I'll do a video on this. I use Reiki. Like, I'll write down what I want in life or a goal or something I'm trying to manifest, and then I'll send Reiki to it every single day. Best believe that worked, especially like when I needed my passport and it wasn't coming in time. I Reiki the heck out of that situation, and dun, 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 my passport came in time, which I really did not think it was going to happen, but Reiki did his thing. And you're probably wondering, okay, so I get this Reiki thing. It's this energy thing that you can do remotely or in person. I get that, it can help reduce stress and helps me relax and maybe help with a relationship. It may illuminate some things for me, and it helps my overall healing. But seriously, I still don't understand how does it work? How does Reiki work? Well, let me explain it in the best way I can explain how Reiki works. Reiki works. It helps. Let me back up. To learn Reiki, one needs to receive like an attunement, ignition, and placement. There's different reasons behind the different words, and I'm not going to go into that, but just think you get attuned to this energy and you learn specific hand positions and symbols, which you then can use Reiki. And so, like, for example, for being able to do Reiki from a distance. So I could be here in California and say my girlfriend in Washington, D.C. needs some Reiki or has something going on in her life. And I'm like, girl, I got you. I'm going to send you some Reiki. And people are like, how does that work? So there's different steps in Reiki. So there's Reiki 1, where you can get attuned to the first symbols in Reiki, and you can do Reiki on yourself. I do Reiki on myself every single day. Well, let me rephrase that. I attempt to do Reiki every single day on myself. I can feel the difference when I don't do Reiki on myself in the morning. But part of my morning routine is I like to do Reiki on myself and kind of start my day clearing out some things and opening up my chakras and just feeling better as best as I can by helping, relax my body and relax my mind and release worry. Again, releasing worry in the morning, I'm all there for that one. So Reiki 1, you can learn how to do Reiki on yourself, where you're able to do Reiki from or someone who's in front of you. So you're on yourself or someone who is physically in front of you. So my mom has been asking me to do Reiki on her. I don't know why. I'm like, my parents don't know this. I do Reiki on them all the time, but not in front of them. My mom wants me to actually do a session in front of her. And I just need to do it. I don't know why I've been kind of BSing on it, but I do Reiki on my parents all the time, and I've seen the difference. My dad will be all spazzed out, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do a little bit of Reiki. He has no clue what I'm doing. My hands seem like they're just out. I'm just doing my thing, and all of a sudden he's like, "Woosa," and I'm like, "Thank you, Reiki. You have once again calmed this man down when some days I don't think he's gonna calm down." So you can do Reiki with Reiki 1. You could do Reiki on people in front of you or on yourself. Reiki 2, so Reiki level 2, is when you are, attuned to what's called the distance symbol. And in Reiki, we don't talk about the actual, I'm not going to draw the symbols in front of you because it's actually you're supposed to keep it secret. It's so some people, if you go online and you could probably type in Reiki, you could probably see it. And those are people who are not respecting, the rules and the concept of Reiki. Like, you're not supposed to share those things unless you know about those things unless you are attuned to Reiki. So I will talk about them, but I'm not going to show anyone anything. But when you are a Reiki level 2 practitioner, you're able to learn the distance symbol, which then gives you this ability to basically be like, ding, ding, hello. Oh, yes, I like to dial up to this Reiki energy and give it to my girlfriend in Washington, D.C. Reiki's like, okay, bet, got you, click. And so it helps you. I know that was really weird, especially if you're watching this, but it literally gives you this dial up connection to be able to connect to another person's energetic, life force and their energy to be able to, again, help them. Like prayer. It's it's literally like, I mean, it's not literally like prayer, but it's similar to prayer. Like, you don't have to be next to someone to pray for them. You don't have to be in the same city, the same country. You don't even have to, you just have to have the intent to send them well energy. And, it's just another form of energy, but this is another, and Reiki is a form of energy healing. So with that, I just think about the recipient. I think about them, I use a picture, I write their name, I activate Reiki by using the distance symbol, and then I do my thing and send Reiki to people. Actually, right before doing this, I actually had someone send me Reiki. I should do a Reiki share with someone, and so she sent me Reiki or did a Reiki treatment on me right before doing this. Because I was going to do it before, and I was like, no, I'll do that. Honey, when I tell you, like, I could tell exactly when she started, and like, it was like my body was like, boom, someone's doing Reiki on you. I felt like this magical tingling feeling all over my body. And not everyone feels this way, but I felt tingling. I felt heat around me. I felt super calm, like crazy relaxed, and like to the point where I fell asleep. And I was like, whoops, I fell asleep. But that's okay. You don't have to be awake for Reiki to work. Reiki will still continue working. And sexual it's sometimes better that it's working on you when you are asleep, because sometimes when you're awake, your mind's working and all these things are happening. When you allow yourself to get into more of a like resting space, it allows your body to work a little bit better. So sometimes it's better to be asleep. And oftentimes my clients will fall asleep. And I'm like, I always tell them, like, don't worry if you fall asleep. Reiki is still working on you. But oftentimes people feel clearer, they feel more optimistic, and they have that overall feeling of well-being. And again, who doesn't need that in your life? Like I need that in my life. And so one thing I love about this even more so is that when people want to say it's woo-woo, like, oh my God, it's religion, like I'm not working on it. Honey, if the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, UCLA, Stanford, Medical Center, if all, and many, many more major hospitals and medical centers are using Reiki, it makes you think, maybe there's more to this than I thought it was. Maybe it's not this woo-woo thing or something or like off the beaten path. Insurances cover Reiki. Insurance companies aren't just covering something that they don't think is going to work, or they think it's just too far-fetched or too woo-woo. Um, and so these places like the Mayo Clinic, Stanford University, and Johns Hopkins, like a lot of them use it in their cancer treatment centers. Like you'll see Reiki practitioners in cancer treatment centers often. Reiki has been known to help accelerate recovery for surgery. It's known to help reduce pain. It decreases symptoms that some of the patients are experiencing. And so it's become more and more mainstream, like that, like Mrs. Takata was saying. She's like, I want Reiki to be as common as aspirin. And it's not there yet. It's not there yet because it's just not advertised, or especially not in the Black and brown community. I just don't feel like we're taught this. Like I'm almost low key mad that I didn't know about it until I was an adult, because I wished I had Reiki when I was younger. I wished I had Reiki growing up, to work through emotional things, to work through physical things, to work through relationships with my parents, my friends, you know, boyfriends at the time. And like you're going through all this craziness, and like Reiki would have made such a difference in my life. And which is why I love being a Reiki master. So I am actually a Karuna Reiki Master. So you have Reiki level 1, where you get, the first symbols, and you could do Reiki on yourself and in anything in person. And Reiki 2, you have the distance symbol, where you can do Reiki from afar, and then you can become a Reiki master. And you have to wait 6 months. So usually the Reiki 1 and 2 classes are together. It's usually like a 2-day situation, like over the weekend. And then becoming a Reiki master is usually a 3-day situation, but you have to wait 6 months. So letting Reiki work its magic on you, getting comfortable utilizing it. And then from there, you can become a Reiki master, where you get more symbols, get a higher frequency, And then from there, you could become a Karuna Reiki Master, which is what I wanted to do. And becoming a Karuna Reiki Master, and one day I'll do a whole maybe podcast on that, because that right there was like, Reiki not only helped me physically, but Reiki, and I talked about it in the beginning of the podcast, has helped me become a better person. Reiki has helped me become more of my authentic self. It's helped me become more aware and more in tune with my body, with my intuition. Um, it's helped me start my day on a beautiful note of kindness and love, not just towards myself, but towards others, and how I show up in this world. And the difference, I would say, between a Karuna Reiki Master and a Reiki Master is like, it's just you're attuned to 8 more symbols. So imagine 8 more tools to at a higher vibration that you can utilize in your practice, and it has been a game changer. One of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit more was about, it's not just my word. Like, you can go online and hear from 50 million people about how Reiki has helped them. Like, my clients have been amazing. Like, I had one client who I loved because she scared the blank out of me. Like, literally, I was like doing Reiki on her, and I'm like, oh my God, it feels like there's like some other energy in her that's not her, but it's in her body. I'm like, yo, is she possessed? And like, how do you, because sometimes in doing Reiki sessions, I get, messages or things, I hear things about people, I feel people's pain. I've had a session where someone made me cry just because they were in so much pain that I could feel it, and I was able to help them relieve some of that. But this person who I was talking about was pregnant, and she didn't tell me she was pregnant. So I'm like literally like trying to talk to her. I'm like, after the session, I'm like, so, I worked here. I felt this in your heart chakra. I felt this, but like, there was like, I was in this area with near your stomach, and I just felt like there was this other thing that wasn't you, but it's super strong. And she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh, girl, thank you. I like, why didn't she tell me this beforehand? And I love it. Like, she gave me this a glowing review. Like, I just wanted to read some of the reviews people have given me, or the testimonials of people who've done Reiki with me. So what she was saying is like, Danielle is so good. She performs these remotely, which is the whole distance thing. Everything I was going through, she noticed as blockages within my body. But let me tell you about how powerful this woman is. That's me. I was pregnant during the session, but I didn't tell her beforehand. This lady detected my baby in the spiritual place during our session. I'm still in awe, y'all. Exactly. I was in awe because I was like, how do you tell someone what's going on? Another client was like, she was like telling me, thank you for, sharing your time with me. That was truly a moment I didn't even know I needed, but so glad I took advantage of the opportunity. I still don't know who Reiki is, but I do know God allowed you to tap into my life in a moment over the internet. And that shows you the power of Reiki over and over and over. And you don't have to be in front of the person. So it has, I just love Reiki. I like literally feel like Reiki was this missing puzzle in my life. Like, I feel like I was this puzzle piece that was in the wrong box for so long. I'm like, I'm trying to fit here. I'm like, that didn't fit. That doesn't fit here. I don't fit there. Once I started using Reiki and really understanding and getting clarity, because again, Reiki clears the path, illuminates the path to where you're supposed to be, what's going on in your life, and it just illuminates so much. It felt like I found the right box, and I was put in the right puzzle. I am the right puzzle piece that goes perfectly for the life that I'm meant to live, which is the one right now, doing this podcast. Like, I didn't start the podcast until after I started doing Reiki. I didn't start living this life that I'm living and creating boundaries, the level I'm doing, and honoring myself until I was doing Reiki, until I discovered Reiki. Reiki has literally changed who I am, how I am, and I am so freaking grateful for this experience. And that's why I'm super excited. So as a Karuna Reiki Master, or just a Reiki Master in general, um, I'm mad at myself for not sharing this before, because for for a long time now, I could have been teaching other people how to do this. And it is my goal and mission and part of my life and part of this whole Hello Well, movement, and this movement of this wellness revolution is to get us to thrive and heal and be like, not just survive. I could teach other people how to do Reiki. I can teach all of these people who are listening to this podcast right now in less than 48 hours how to quickly do Reiki on yourself and your loved ones, and to be able to send healing, not just prayers. You can send a prayer, but send a prayer with Reiki. Honey, let me just tell you, it's stronger and it's empowering, and it can change your life, and it can change the life around people around you. And it's that simple, in less than 48 hours. So I have decided to start teaching. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to teach. Am I okay to teach? Who am I? I'm like, I'm okay to teach. Who am I to teach? I'm a Karuna Reiki Master. And I need to stop hiding the stuff in secret of something that has been so powerful in my life, and not share that with other people. So starting in October, so October, November, December, I am going to be teaching at least once a month Reiki classes over a weekend, usually probably the second or third weekend in the month. I'm going to start teaching Reiki, and I just want more people to be able to enjoy the release of worry, to feel like the release of stress, to feel that, life is just a lot better, and overall their well-being feels better, and getting that stuck energy like unstuck. I want you to flow like the most beautiful river. That's all I want. I want us all to flow and thrive. And Reiki for me has been such an easy thing. I don't need anything to help myself or anyone else. I could do Reiki in the bathroom. I could do Reiki on a plane. I could do Reiki in a doctor's office. I could do Reiki anywhere in this world, on anyone at any time, because that's the power of Reiki, just like the power of prayer. So if you're interested, make sure you can either send me a message, or you can write us an email at Danielle@hellowellwithdanielle.com. I don't know why I had to think about this. So it's Danielle@hellowellwithdanielle.com, or leave a comment on this podcast, or follow the page, or follow us on Instagram or Facebook, and you'll find out about the actual dates, and you can sign up. Other than that, I'm going to enjoy this day. I am going to relax after an amazing Reiki session, because I am feeling uber relaxed right now. And I'm just going to be grateful for the amazingness that Reiki has taught me. I send you guys love, and I will talk to you guys soon. Ciao. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you like hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes, so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.